Well, good morning, Practical Finances friends and family. This is Curtis, your host. Thank you for joining me so much for episode 6 of the winter season. Now, today's topic of discussion is going to be disasters, financial preparation and recovery. Now, hopefully this episode will give you a better understanding of the steps you need to take to protect yourself if disaster strikes. Okay, get your notepad so we can get started. All right, give me a second while I share the presentation. All righty. So again, disasters, financial preparation, and recovery. All right. So section one, preparing financially for disasters. Let's get started here. All right. So for section one, the key takeaway is going to be save time, money, and stress when disaster strikes by making financial preparations. Now, how disasters can affect your finances. All right. Number one, the cost of meeting immediate needs, the cost of repairing and replacing items, the ongoing cost of items you need, identity theft, scams, access to financial resources, penalties of missing payments. These are things that we need to keep in our mind and start preparing for. Um, Prepare in advance for disasters, and that's what this whole episode is about, getting prepared. First of all, visit ready.gov for general preparations. I went on that site myself, and it is fantastic. I mean, it gives you information on preparing for floods, for storms, for winter weather. Gives information about COVID-19 and preparing for that. So anything disaster related, hurricanes, anything disaster related, ready.gov will give you that information that you'll need to prepare. Also, now be better prepared financially. All right, how do you do that? Get the insurance you need. Set money aside in an emergency savings fund. Keep some cash in place. Sign up for a direct deposit. Consider online or mobile banking. Keep financial documents and information in a safe place. All right. So again, getting the insurance you need. Let's drill down on that a little bit, because of course, we know insurance is a critical support after disasters. Insurance is a critical support after disasters. Get it before you need it. All right. Again, get it before you need it. Shop around for the best deals. Review your policies. Know what's covered and what's not covered. All right. Keep records of your personal property. These are things you need to do when you do obtain insurance. Now, what types of insurance could you be better prepared to help you get better prepared? Excuse me. All right, types of insurance. We all know this: automotive, disability insurance, life insurance, renters insurance, and homeowners insurance. Those are the 5 main insurances that we all either need, or that we have, or that we need to get. All right. So setting aside money in an emergency fund. So why have an emergency fund? Set a realistic goal. When you're building it, set a realistic goal. It takes time and commitment. It's a cycle. It's still worth doing, and it's an important step to improve financial health and stability. If you listen to, or you've heard of, I'm sure everybody's heard of Dave Ramsey. One of the things he talks about when he starts you on your financial journey is to make sure that you have at least $1,000 in your savings account. That's the first thing you do, because typically what happens is, if there is an emergency that does occur, normally the cost averages around $1,000. So that's why it's good to build the emergency savings fund, but also at least have $1,000 in it at the minimum. All right, keep some cash in a safe place. Now, cash might be the only option right after a disaster, because all the electricity may be down, for instance. Your bank may not be open, things of that nature. Keep some cash in a safe place where you can access it quickly. All right. May want to keep it in a large emergency kit, like a go bag or a bug out bag or BOB. So a go bag is actually like an emergency bag with everything you need to grab if something does occur. A first aid kit, for instance, your money needs to be in it, maybe a change of clothes, things of that nature need to be in that bag on the ready. So if it is a disaster does strike, you can just go grab the bag and go, hence the name Go Bag. Um, do not keep more cash than necessary. So try not to keep thousands and thousands of dollars, just keep enough where you can get gas and food and maybe a hotel, things like that. All right. All right, sign up for direct deposit. Okay, now with direct deposit, your payroll, pension, or public benefits go directly into your account at a financial institution. All right, goes in wireless, digitally, not paper, so you don't have to take the paper to the bank, because if you do have to do that and the bank is not open, guess what? You can't make a direct deposit. So you can make a deposit. So use the direct deposit to put the monies in the account digitally. Also helps you to access important income during a disaster. And if you don't already have an account, you may want to consider one. Okay. Now, I'll just give you a quick story. I know that this is not disaster related, but my wife and my son and our nephew, this is 20 years ago, went to Florida for a little getaway, went to Panama City for a getaway. And we left on a Thursday, the day before my payday. And so we get there Thursday, things are, going good. Well, the next morning I got paid and I had direct deposit. And when I checked my account, guess what? My monies were in the account. I didn't have to get a check, didn't have to go to the bank to deposit it. They were already there waiting for me. And I was, hours away in Florida. So think about that concept when you start thinking about a disaster. The same principle applies. The monies will go directly into your account without you having to get a check. All right. Does that make sense? All right. Consider arranging for online or mobile banking. Okay, your financial institution may be temporarily unavailable. So online or mobile banking, things you can do with it, or you can pay bills, you can deposit checks, you can conduct other transactions through an online browser or phone app, and you can communicate with your financial institution. More than likely, financial institutions are large enough where if one site or one location or one area has been affected by a disaster, that doesn't shut down the entire company. So you still will have access to your bank accounts and information. You can still do banking as long as you have a mobile or online banking. All right. All right. Keep financial documents and information in a safe place. Hard copy records at home. If you want to keep hard copy records, put it in a waterproof bag in a fire-resistant box or safe. Okay, in your Go Bag, bug out bag or BOB, in a safe deposit box at your financial institution, or scan and email securely to yourself. Okay, and keep it digitally, and which leads into electronic records. It needs to be a password protected format, secure offsite data storage service. So a cloud program with multi-layered authentication protocols. Okay. So again, keep your records updated. All right. All right. Emergency financial first aid kit. FEMA, for Federal Emergency Management, recommends everyone should have an EFAC, Emergency Financial First Aid Kit. All right. FEMA.gov includes checklists and forms to help you prepare an EFAC. All right. Also, you can visit FEMA.gov and search for EFAC, and then you can pull that information up. But you got to have an emergency financial first aid kit handy. All right. So again, section 1, as we talked about, save time, money, and stress when disaster strikes by making financial preparations. Okay. So section 2 is recovering financially from disasters. All right. So what you need to do is develop an initial plan to recover financially from a disaster. All right. You need to watch out for scams. We've talked about that before, especially last week when we talked about identity protection. Some of the same principles apply here also. All right. So steps to financial recovery, small groups, property other than home, your home, income or job, bills and expenses, and protecting your money. Now, your property other than home. Now, access and document the damage when damage or disaster strikes. Contact your insurance providers. Find a safe place to store cash and valuables. Arrange for alternative transportation. repair, replace, and borrow assistive technology you use that was damaged. Okay. Now, your home, continue making your mortgage payments. You need to contact your lender or your landlord to kind of let them know what's going on. Again, assess and damage and document damage. Again, contact your insurance providers. Contact your landlord if you live in an apartment about damage if you rent, and get help from a HUD certified housing counseling agency. So those things that you can do to assist you. Your income of your job. Now, of course, you contact your employer, contact your benefits provider, keep track of work days lost, care for your service animal, and repair assistive technology. Contact your disability insurance provider. Explore public benefits. Contact your life insurance provider, and also contact school and financial aid offices. These are things you need to do in reference to your job. Bills and expenses. Continue to pay your bills. Very important. Contact the post office. Contact your financial institutions. Contact your creditors. Keep records of what you spent, and access assistance programs. So you can see some of these factors are overlapping. Protecting your money. Get and review your credit reports. Contact your financial institutions. Contact Department of Motor Vehicles. Find a safe place for financial information, cash, and other valuables, and contact the post office. And be proactive. First, contact the company directly. If needed, contact the regulatory agency. And also consider filing a complaint with the state regulators or state attorney general's office. All right. And these are places where you can get, and organizations or sites where you can get help. Disasterassistance.gov. FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency Disaster Recovery Centers. Maybe if you are involved in a hurricane, for instance, there may be FEMA centers or areas that may be built up where you can go and stay until you can make your next move. And also locally organized disaster relief and recovery meetings. So these are all resources that you can either find or you can look for to help you during a disaster. All right. So financial recovery resources, again, start with disasterassistance.gov, FEMA's individual and household programs, Small Business Administration, low interest, long-term disaster loans could help you. Department of Agricultural disaster loans, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, approved housing counseling agencies, and home preservation hotline. These are all resources, again, that you can use for disaster strikes. Now, watch out for scams. Not everybody who offers help is a legitimate source of help. Okay, be on the lookout for scams. Protect yourself by being very cautious. Okay, if anything that's suspicious, and be selective when you do accept help. Okay, the thing you need to do is use your intuition. If God will speak to you in your spirit. If something doesn't feel right, do not ignore that. Listen to that. All righty. That is typically the first sign of something's not being right. And then just kind of logically look at this individual, find out if they're trying to help you, find out what their credentials are, find out what their history is. And of course, again, use your intuition, use what God is planting in your spirit. Okay. All right. Now, to avoid scams, get and check references. Ask to see state and local permits, like I was saying a minute ago. Find out their credentials. Don't pay in full up front. Get and keep records, and don't pay for services that should be for free. A couple more tips. Research organizations that you are not familiar with. Protect your information. Monitor your credit reports, and read scam alerts and report scams. All right. Now, adjust your financial picture after a disaster. Take time to grieve and get what you need to really understand the reality of the situation. Review and adjust spending and savings plans. Contact your lender. Contact your financial institution. Get and review your credit reports, and set new goals and make plans to reach them. Okay, those are things you need to do after disaster. But the first one is so important. Give yourself time to adjust. If you've lost your house, or you've lost your car, or you've unfortunately lost maybe a loved one in that one, you need to take time to grieve and to let that sink in, so to speak. That's important, because if you can't I guess, emotionally get yourself prepared. It's going to be difficult to do the other things necessary to recover. All right. All right. So section 2, remember the key takeaways: develop an initial plan to recover financially from a disaster and watch out for scams. All righty. Well, we have come to the end of episode 6 of Practical Finances. I wanted to get that good information in today. I wanted to, that's something I have not talked about before, but I think it's so important. We are now in February. We have approximately about a month or two to go before the tornado season hits. So this is a really good time to start thinking about those things. A storm potentially coming for the Middle Tennessee area, for instance. So we want to make sure that we have everything prepared to get ready for that storm. All right. So again, thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope the information was clear, concise, and most important, helpful. Now, if you want to get in contact with me, or you have any questions, you can email me at practicalfinancescg@gmail.com. Again, that's practicalfinancescg@gmail.com, or you can follow me on social media. Facebook at Practical Finances, Instagram at Practical_Finances, YouTube at Practical Finances. Just go put Practical Finances in the search bar and search for that, or Twitter at Practical FINAN6. Again, at Practical FINAN6 on Twitter. All right. So again, I thank you so much again. I look forward to seeing you for next week's episode number 7 of the winter season. All right. I look forward to seeing you. You all have a blessed week and take care of yourself. Okay. And be careful. Again, we have a pending storm potentially coming on Monday. Just be careful. Y'all take care and be blessed.